Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T-Money.
Hey, that smell with the line is cooking.
Yeah, buddy. Woo, we got a lineup, and I'm going to run through them as fast as I can because this is going to be a 3-part video. Reason why is because of June 28th and July 5th. Two things actually happened on the 5th while we're trying to catch up with Impact Wrestling. So here we go, leading up to Slammiversary. First stop, starting on June 28th, we have the North versus the Deaners. Ultimately, the Deaners lost that match and they took it hard and they went for a drinking. In the back, we go into the lair of the Demon Assassin, Rosemary, that gets called upon by the Impact Knockouts champion, Taya Valkyrie. She asks her to take care of her problem, which is Su Yung and Havoc. And she says, in order to get a little, you gotta give a little. And she looks at that title when she says it. And she said she would give her an opportunity.
Calls her the Viking goddess.
Why would she need to deal with have her assistance when she was the Viking goddess? Actually, she's no longer the Viking goddess. She's the first lady of Slamtown.
Yes, that's true. But Rosemary still calls her that.
Used to be, she said.
No, she still do.
No, I think she just calls her Pretty Little Miss Slams.
In her interviews, that she calls her the Viking goddess.
Moose attacks Tommy Dreamer at the House of Hardcore event and says it's Rob Van Dam's fault. Sending a message to Rob Van Dam. We then have the Knockouts Championship champion, Taya Valkyrie, with Rosemary to fight Su Yung and Havoc. Ultimately, it would be the victory of Taya and Rosemary. But there would be an interesting thing that would come up after that match. We would have Father's James Mitchell come...
You said Father's.
What? What's his name?
Father James Mitchell.
Oh, I thought it was Father's. Father James Mitchell actually tells both Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie that at Slammiversaries, he's cordially invited... I can't even pronounce that. It's a fancy word. He invites all 4 women to a special ball, the Monsters Ball. In which case, Taya Valkyrie is livid because she didn't sign up for this. But apparently it will be a fatal 4-way in a Monsters Ball match for the Knockouts Championship. 4 women, 3 of them are dark, 1 is just a powerhouse, badass woman, which is the champ, by the way. And that,
You gotta be a fighting champion.
She don't want to be, but she gonna.
Yeah, if you don't, that belt, like I said, if you don't win your belt, you're gonna
for the record, I've already saw Bash at the Brewery, Impact on the 5th. I haven't seen the one night where Booker T's Reality of Wrestling merges with Impact Wrestling. That is on Twitch exclusively, so I haven't made the time to watch it.
See, I haven't heard anything about that.
It was last Saturday on the 6th.
But here's what I thought. Like months ago, I thought his thing ran. I thought his thing ran out of business, but I guess.
Oh no, it's still going on Fight Network. Fight on the app. You can check it.
Yeah, I see it because he's doing his podcast. And I know, and what I know is that his wife.
Oh, he uploads certain things on that as well.
But I'm saying his wife, because it's not just his company; it's his brothers too.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, I finished watching Slammiversary as of yesterday, so that's good. So I already know how that ends, but no spoilers until we do the review. So next up, we have
I don't really watch Impact.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with him, so he can hear what happened. Yeah. We have the Deaners at the bar when Dizzy Hit Squad interrupts and makes fun of them for losing against the North. We then have Eddie Edwards in a Catholic church trying to amends for what he plans on doing to Killer Cross, and saying that he would like to do that to anyone because of the fact that he likes violence and he likes inflicting violence. That same hand that would be put onto him by the father that had not moved would then be revealed to belong to Killer Cross. He would actually say that, well, actually first, Eddie Edwards would say that, Father, in the eyes of God, I have sinned, I'm a sinner. And he says, in the eyes of God, we are all sinners. And it gets twisted. It's a confrontation between the two that I highly recommend looking up on this video clip and checking them out on Wrestling Source, a site he goes to. I highly recommend it to check that out.
Let me just say why, because I know five of my girls are no longer on Impact. Like, we're talking about Scarlett Bordeaux, Velvet Sky, Christy Hemme, and Tracy Brooks.
A lot of them are in Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
And Allie.
Allie's in AEW.
Yeah.
So they're all over the place.
But it's like Tracy Brooks, she's not into professional wrestling.
Tracy Brooks. Yeah, I don't know where she's at.
Yeah. Neither is Christy Hemme.
Ultimately, after the confrontation, that Eddie Edwards said, if you want to fight, I'll be outside. Because Killer Cross was putting him in his face, saying that this is hollow grounds, hollow grounds. You want to be that guy who starts a fight in a church? He used that against him. Then the same father actually comes up and says, would you like to confess, my son? He actually smiled and said, how long do you have? Meaning he was going to enjoy telling him all his dirty little secrets with a grin and just discuss him.
You know, he no longer in Impact, right?
Who?
Killer Cross.
Yeah, I think after Slammiversary, that was his last match.
Yeah.
Where he goes now, I don't know.
So I heard he's gonna try sign with AEW.
Ooh. Have to keep up with that on YouTube.
Because his girl ain't going to WWE. So she probably sign with him too soon.
Wait, who's his girl?
Scarlett Bordeaux. She ain't going with WWE no more.
All right. Next, we have Sami Callihan with Madman Fulton versus Falaba and Scarlett Bordeaux. With Scarlett Bordeaux, sorry. She's in Falaba's corner. Ultimately, Falaba wears this new black and red gear along with this white. It's like part of this gear, top and bottom.
I know it's a symbol, panda.
Oh, he's still got the panda.
Okay.
But he's got red and black instead of the usual gold and purple.
But I'm saying, is the panda symbol on his new attire?
Yes.
Okay.
But I will say this much: it didn't help. His new look didn't help him because Sami Callihan found a way to beat the living hell by kicking him several times up his head and the gut, and had him over the ropes. And instead of trying to lift his weight, he actually used the ropes on the second rope as leverage to actually give him the custom version of the Cactus Jack pile driver, like this. Like Randy Orton, his legs are right here, and then he goes, poof, got him the win. He then has the Chris brothers after Scarlett Bordeaux, and here comes Tessa Blanchard to defend her, only to get her ass beat. Yeah, seriously. He actually called her out. Never mind. That was last week. Before that, he would actually, after beating Falaba, he would call out Tessa Blanchard to state one issue, that if you wanted me to treat you as an equal, here you go. He kicks her in the gut and beats the living hell out of her, saying that a woman can't live in a man's world. Well, she came right back after getting kicked in the gut and started whooping her ass. That's when the Chris Brothers then came out. Okay, I'm trying to get my memory straight because this was 2 weeks ago. Then they team up a 3-on-1, holding her down, and he hits her with the front part of the bat into her gut and says, "Dumb bitch," and all that.
But he's saying that women shouldn't belong in a man's professional wrestling, which is true.
Yeah. I would like to see more of those when it comes to strong women beating up men.
I heard this for years, that women some women say it's true that it's a man's world.
Tag team champions LAX versus Laredo Kid and it's a 6-man tag with a Laredo Kid,
Laredo,
and or should I say Conan in their corner versus all 3 members of the Rascals. The Rascals ended up getting the win. And then they have a heated argument saying who are going to be the 2 to go against them at LAX at Slammiversary. That's where things get interesting. Because the next week following, on the 5th, they would have a triple threat triple threat match against one another. Whoever would get pinned isn't going to be in the match. So we'll cover that when it comes up. Next, we have Brian Cage stating the issue of his return. His doctor specifically is telling him not to make this move, to stop. He puts him aside and he states that he's going to kick Michael Elgin's ass. But that's the thing. The doctor comes in to the ring telling him, please stop. You're not medically cleared. Here comes Michael Elgin taking... You can go ahead and go to July 5th, Bash at the Brewery. Because that came up first before Impact. And this is what happened. Michael Elgin would powerbomb, given the opportunity of the distraction of attacking him with the distraction of the doctor, he would powerbomb him into the corner one time and then follow up with a spinning sit-down powerbomb. That's his signature move. And then, worst comes to worst, he sets up a table outside and throws the champion, Impact champion, Brian Cage, out to the table from still inside the ring. I was like, damn. You think he's out. And then, oh shoot, I forgot. Damn, what's his name? Can you go back?
What are you talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who he attacked because he was being threatened by one guy in charge who's on commentary most of the time. Don? Mm-hmm. Don Mitchell?
Don West.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, never mind. It should be go all the way to the bottom. There you go.
Josh Matthews.
Josh Matthews.
Josh.
Okay. Josh Matthews.
Josh
Matthews.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Don
Callis.
Don Callis is brutally assaulted by Michael Elgin. And right when you see him holding that title in the ring, Brian Cage has a cast around his neck because he was still down. He gets up after being hit by 3 power bombs. And there's fighting in the ring, and the show ends on that note. So next we come Bash at the Brewery on July 5th. We'll be actually, while he's doing that, a shout out to our boys, Heaven Monsters podcast members, Xavier Hill and Mike Henry. A link to their YouTube pages will be in descriptions down below, as always. And a main shout out to Renee, Farrell, Andre, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. Sorry, I had a burp and it went away. What the hell?
You said Slammiversary?
No, not Slammiversary. Bash at the Brewery. Look up Impact on the 5th, July 5th. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and this is a little iffy, but we'll try to cover as much as we can. We had the Rascals defeat Dirty Andy Dalton. Some guy from, I guess, over there, the Bowery and all these other wrestlers. They did have a good match. Funny story. I don't know. This is a company with Impact Wrestling called RWC. I don't know what that stands for.
River City Wrestling.
Ah, so you know. Well, Fallah Bah's their world champion. And Anthony Edwards got beat by him Yeah, he beat him. We have Jordan Grace taking on Havoc. But ultimately, thanks to Su Yung, it was dealt in disqualification, where Rosemary comes in to aid her, and she even states, Grace, just when you think you're done with the undead realm claws you right back in. So she actually states for Jordan Grace to team up with her to take on Su Yung and Havoc, in which case they end up defeating them in a fair match. Tessa Blanchard, Willie Mack, and Rick Swan defeat... Okay, that's a different name. Madman Fulton, but his full name, I guess, is Shorian? Sawyer?
What's it? Sawyer Fulton.
Huh, so that's his first name is Sawyer. Madman Fulton, Jack, and Dave Chris. They successfully defeated them. He didn't want. Sami Callihan did not want to be a part of that match. He said that was not worth his time, so they put him in a different match. Because believe it or not, at the Bash Brewery, that they didn't mention. I just remember. Thanks to all this, it made me remember. At the beginning of the show, it was supposed to be Moose versus the champ Brian Cage in the main event. Brian Cage comes out to challenge or state his claim to him beating Michael Elgin. Moose comes out and is insulted at the fact that he is mentioning Michael Elgin, his opponent, that Sunday, which is a Friday at the time at the brewery, and not his opponent that night. Where Michael Elgin comes in, brutally attacks him over and over and over. He's getting pulled away. He comes right back, pulled away, comes back, beats him with a living chair. Brian Cage is taken out of the show altogether. In which case, Moose is pissed because Michael Elgin is scheduled to fight Eddie Edwards instead. So instead, Michael Elgin states him an offer. What's better than beating up and sending one guy to the hospital? 2. So he's challenged the Moose into a triple threat with him and Eddie Edwards. That became a thing. So yeah, I'm looking at it. Michael Elgin defeats both Eddie Edwards and Moose by pinning Eddie Edwards. Next, we have one of the things that was an uproar. What's the term? I don't know. I can't think of it. Let me just say it was the upset. There you go. The most upset of thing that happened. It would be as promised, as promoted, because the North, Josh Alexander and All Ego Ethan Page were waiting for that day of the Bash at the Brewery for their title shot at LAX for the tag team Impact Tag Team Championships. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, the North beat LAX and became the new champions. During the triple threat match between Michael Elgin, the last match, it would be announced that at Slammiversary, it will be a triple threat tag team match for the Impact Tag Team Championships, with the North defending their titles against LAX and the 2 representing Rascals. Finally, as to Sami Callihan, they put him in a match with RVD in Extreme Rules. So the rules were thrown out, and it was one hell of a match where Rob Van Dam got the win thanks to the interference of Tessa Blanchard, because the Chris brothers came and interfered the match. So thanks to having Tessa Blanchard cover Rob Van Dam's back, he finished off Sami Callihan. Okay, so look up Impact July 5th. It's same day. And they even mentioned go to Impact Wrestling right now to cover the show. So I was like, well, damn, I already watched Impact. I'm like, shoot, I didn't watch it in the right order. That sucked. But at least I watched it nonetheless, so I can cover it. We'll be right back with that episode, and we barely just hit the 20-minute mark. All right, so this will work here. We got the results. So starting off the night, we would have... I'm looking to see if anybody started talking. Nope. Yeah, I remember. It started off with TJP versus Ace Austin in a potential rematch. In which case, Austin didn't like the fact that he had to fight TJP, who he did not know came back. So TJP, the week before, actually issued that he would beat him again to prove that it was no fluke. And he did. By tap out. So not only was Ace Austin defeated by pinfall by TJP, he also got tapped out to his what do you call it? Oh, it says right here. Thank you. Knee bar. Okay, so next up we have, and yeah, that's it. We have Kiera Hogan versus Madison Rayne, with Jordynne Grace at commentary. The whole time, Jordynne Grace is trying to tell her to keep her eyes on Madison Rayne. She always keeps looking at Jordynne Grace, talking smack to her. You would think that would cause her the win. Nope. She ended up winning in the end, beating Madison Rayne. Congratulations to Kiera Hogan with her new blue hair, blue flames, as she calls herself, with a fisherman's net breaker. Gama Singh gives Rahit Raju some special tea from a special tea set, but it's the Deaners that sneak in and replace it with whiskey. All three realize, are tipping it like, what is this? What is this? He gives it to the third member of the Dizzy Hit Squad. This tastes like beer. They all three of them at the same time realize who it is, and they say, Deaners! And Rahit it comes back, is like, oh, this is terrible. This is bad. He comes back to take another sip. He says, it's not that bad. James Mitchell tries to keep Havoc and Su Yung calm before Slammiversary, stating that it was thanks to Havoc that Su Yung is no longer being chained around by Rosemary like some sort of dog, so that she owes Havoc a win at Slammiversary. So, a little trouble in paradise and ideals. Flashback to moment to Rosemary and Jay. Blah, blah, blah. Video of the Monsters Ball. Blah, 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 blah. Video of Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan. Yeah, they're just getting ready for SummerSlam. I guess this would be considered their SummerSlam. It's Slammiversary. Just like they have their WrestleMania versus Bound for Glory, we got WWE SummerSlam versus Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary, which for them is the actual anniversary of when they started for TNA. We then have Rahit Raju versus Leonardo Kid, the Mexican wrestler.
Laredo.
Oh, thank you. Laredo Kid, the Mexican wrestler under the tutelage of Conan and the LAX. Ultimately, Rahit Raju gets the win. Top of the rope, double stomp to the back. Video of Moose and Rob Van Dam. Oh, shoot. Moose is a bastard. He actually goes to the ring, tells him that he is the whole effing show up to Impact Wrestling, and actually states that he plans on taking out all of the other ECW wrestlers. Case in point, well, believe it or not, he took out Tommy Dreamer at his own damn show. And with this info, he actually points to the stage to show footage of him talking smack of Rob Van Dam. And in the background, Sabu, fatally injured by the hands of Moose. Rob Van Dam is pissed. He beelines to the freaking ring to attack Moose and whoops his ass.
Well, he's going after Rob Van Dam because Rob Van Dam is like the big dog. Because like Rob Van Dam won more titles than his fellow ECW wrestlers.
Yeah, security breaks it up after that. We then have the triple threat in question between the rascals of Trey Dez, and Zach. Ultimately, thanks to their already teamwork of Daz, the black one, and Zach, the long-haired one, which is Tez, I think is the Mexican because his last name is Miguel. That's a good mix-up. That's a good mix-up, man. Tres, there you go. You got the Caucasian, you had the black, and you had the Latino. There you go. I like the Rascals for that, too.
There's a black named Miguel, too. There's also blacks.
And sadly, thanks to their teamwork with their leaping push splash, Zach and Dez ended up pinning their boy Trey, and ultimately they're hugging him right after, saying, "Sorry, man, we're sorry. We still love you, bro." And he's petting him like, I know. They go back to the clubhouse and just light it up, and they're like, yeah, you win, man. You go whip their ass and get those titles. And all that. Flashback to results. Everyone hugs post. Tessa Blanchard's post celebration, even before the match at Slammiversary, we have Sami Callihan with OVE while Dave Chris is locking up Madman Fulton. He's chatting up with Jack Chris, talking about the nice spread they had, and ultimately you see Dev getting thrown out through the table, knocking off all the treads, and here's Tessa Blanchard to ruin the party and beat the living hell out of every member of OVE, leaving Sami Callihan beaten with her silver bat, countering his black bat. I think that's supposed to be a montage to Sting, the black bat. I just thought of that right now.
Well, it's not rushed to use the black bat. That means a montage Sting.
Usually. Killer Cross versus Ed. Oh, but no, never mind. There's a video memory back. Oh, this is disturbing. We would have Killer Cross in a church to speak about the Eddie Edwards and how he will soon be departed. He's acting like a dark prophet. Instead of a Catholic church, he sounds like a sadist. That the devil is going to consume him. He then takes a sip of the wine, and out comes a dark liquid out of his mouth that he's spewing out of his mouth. Because it's going to be a First Bloods match. And we haven't seen one of those matches in a long time. I was happy to watch it. So after that little crazy shenanigan, we would have the match that was promised. The Johnny team. Johnny Impact and Johnny Bravo versus Rick Swann and Willie Mack. Ultimately, just to spoil it, we would have the Stunner followed by this Phoenix Splash onto Johnny Impact after they got rid of Johnny Bravo. That's good going for the X Division title match that Johnny Impact is catching in his Ultimate X. It's going to be good.
Still don't see him as an X Division wrestler, but I guess they got to do what they got to do.
Mm-hmm. And that would be it after the Sami Callihan. So that'll be it for the show. And we just hit the 20-minute mark. We're good. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe and like the content. And hit that notification bell for the next Heavy Monsters podcast. Also, what would you take on this? We covered 3 things.
I honestly think that Moose is going to get his butt kicked by RBD because what happened with Tommy Dreamer and Sabu. Mm-hmm. RBD's going to go extreme on Moose.
A whole effing show.
RBD, bro.
Yeah.
Say
Mr. Paper. Yo, he does this too. The whole effing show. Mr. Pay-Per-View. Mr. Return to Pay-Per-View. That's what they were calling him. Mm-hmm. So with that said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.